Hey guys, Frost here. Welcome back to a new episode of Rags to Riches. I just finished a 1 hour of grind with my warrior and Siletus, which was supposed to be a 1 hour with Frost episode. However, after seeing the amount of gold I made, I decided that this is worthy of a Rags to Riches series. Not only that, Ahn'Qiraj is right around the corner, phase 5, and there are a lot of rewards from AQ20 and from Cenarion Circle rep that people are not aware of. Now, this might be the best time to start farming your Cenarion Circle rep, and on top of that, make some money on the side. I want to get right into it. We're going to farm encrypted twilight text and sandworm meat. Right now, they both sell on my server. The meat sells for about 2 gold a pop, and the twilight text is about 1.6 gold, and they're slowly going up as more people are getting aware of the Cenarion Circle reputation rewards. The rest of the batch, if you go to the Ahn'Qiraj sets, the first set, it's the Warlock set. You have a cloak there, which is going to be available at Revered. Basically, the ring comes at Honored, the cloak comes at Revered, and at Exalted you get the weapon. There's a 3 set bonus for each set. However, the set bonus is not important. What's important is that some of those items are really great. Some of them are even better than Blackwing Lair weapons and Molten Core and so on. So by having the reputation, once AQ hits, you will be able to get your items almost instantly. You will just require the idols that drop from AQ20 and a couple of other green items that drop just like coins from ZG. So the Shroud of Unspoken Name, a cloak for warlocks, which doesn't feel like a lot, but if you don't have like your Cloak of Consumption, it might be a decent upgrade. However, what's important for warlock, there's the Ring of Unspoken Name, a ring with 12 stamina, 14 spell power, 1% hit and 1% crit. This is actually a really good ring, which comes at Honored, so you don't have to farm that much, but as a warlock I would recommend to go for Revered, because you get another reward, which I'm going to talk later about it. As for a weapon, there's a main hand weapon with 59 spell power, which could replace a mage blade if you have it already, or if you don't have it at all. Now, if you manage to get your reputation up to Exalted, as soon as AQ40 hits, you will be able to pick them without farming the rep. Moving on to the Priest. Priest is another special case as well. There's a cloak with 24 healing, intellect, stamina and spirit. There's a ring with mana per second. But what's important here on the Priest is the Gravel of Infinite Wisdom. It's a main hand mace with 90 spell power. Keep in mind that Lokamir from Nefarian, which is the best weapon for priests right now in game, the one-hander, only provides 84 spell power. While the Gravel of Infinite Wisdom provides 90 plus mana per second. This will become the best in slot healing mace for priests up until AQ40 gear will drop. Moving on to the Rogue. Rogue gets a new cloak. If you lack hit, that's great. You get 18 agility and 11 stamina, plus improves your chance to hit by 1%. You have a ring which has strength, agility and stamina, and a dagger, which can be a great offhand if you... It's basically better than Corehound Tooth. You get agility, you get strength, and you get 1% hit on a similar damage per second. The fun part about the Rogue set is that on 3 set bonus decreases the energy cost of your Slice and Dice ability by 10. So let's assume in a fight that it's 2 minutes long, probably you'll use like 4 times Slice and Dice. Or even if you use them on 3 points and so on, maybe even more, so you'll be able to cast 1 extra spell, a Sinister Strike, or maybe even an ambush with the Energy Ticker, so it might mean something. The Hunter gets a cloak with agility and hit and stamina, a ring with agility, stamina and intellect, and a one-hand axe which has 16 agility. If you choose to go for dual hand axe with the one from Trash from Blackwing Lair, I guess it's great. Nothing too fancy for hunters, but there will be some rewards later into the questline, don't worry about it. Warrior gets a cloak with 15 strength, 9 agility, 9 stamina and 1% hit. This is a great cloak. It's gonna be best in slot until AQ40. I think first or second boss drops a better cloak. which is similar to this one, just with better stats. This will replace your Cape of the Black Baron. I'm looking forward to get this for my warrior. It's gonna come at Revered. At Honored, you get a ring with crit, stamina, and strength, which if you don't have better options, you could use this, no problem. And at the end, you have an axe with, which is supposed to be an offhand. It has 4 defense, decent stats. I think it would work great for orc warriors, or not even for every warrior. It would work great for a fury prot spec. Even as a main hand if you want to use it. It does have a lot of output damage, a lot of damage per second on a 2.10 speed, so why not? Mages, on the other hand, get a back, which has intellect, stamina, and spell power. Nothing too great. The ring, however, 18 spell power, 1% crit. If you don't have better rings by the time AQ hits, this should be a great ring to start into fire, as much crit as possible for your mage would be something required for the fire spec. The weapon, let's say you're a fresh mage, or maybe you don't have your mage blade yet, maybe you don't have the Staff of Shadow Flame. This main hand, it's basically a mage blade, but with hit. 40 spell power, and 1% hit plus stats, stamina, and intellect. Druids kind of get something nice here. Like, finally, Blizzard, I think, appreciated with the coming of AQ the value of druids. Druids get a cloak with strength, agility, stamina, intellect, and spirit, and 11 spell power. It's one of those hybrid items that druids like to use them. They're the jack of all trades, the master of none. So is this item. It's really great for them. Then you have a ring with strength, all the stats and mana per second. However, this is the first mace that I am aware of that actually gives extra attack power in cat form, bear form, and it also gives spell power. It's great for the hybrid druid class. Shamans get a back similar with the druid. They have strength, stamina, and intellect, spell power. All the items have strength or agility combined with spell power. They're both nice to have, especially if you're a fresh shaman. And then you have the mace with 53 damage and healing. Keep in mind, like most of the maces you might get in game, probably the one from ZG, it's with healing. Unless you have like Lokamir, this is a great addition to your shaman. Now, moving on, there are a couple of other quests that you will be able to do. So at Revered, you'll be able to do the quest for the Deep Rock Bracers as a warrior. They have 19 strength, 10 agility, and 8 stamina. They're pretty similar with the ones that you have at Exalted Warsong Gulch. For casters, you get the Rock Fury Bracers, which have a 27 spell power and 1% hit. They're slightly better than the ones from Blackwing Lair, the Bracers of Arcane Accuracy. And there are 2 other items, an offhand with mana per second and healing spells. I'm not sure if anyone would want this. And you have the Might of Cenarius, a ring with weapon damage plus hit. I guess that's the news for this one. Who knows? Moving to Exalted. Exalted brings the trinket that is gonna be best in slot for a while now. It's called Earth Strike, and it's going to provide 280 attack power. That's huge on use, on an effect that will last for 20 seconds on a 2-minute cooldown. Everyone will want this, every melee. And I think this works for hunters too, as I remember vividly on my vanilla hunter that I had the Earth Strike. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I do remember I had my Earth Strike. There are 2 other items here, like for casters, there's a ring that gives a chance on your harmful spells to increase the damage of your spells by 132 for 10 seconds. Now, I don't think this ring is that great, but I'm not sure exactly about the proc. Maybe on short fights, but it's only 10 seconds. If it would have been like 20 seconds, maybe it would have worked. However, I don't have a lot of information on this ring, although it's something nice to have. Now, moving back to our grind that we done today. We started with a warrior with 2,339 gold in Silatus, and I came here to make an Aura Frost video. I was really amazed that even if the spot was scammed, there were so many people, Horde and Alliance, sometimes Alliance came in groups and so on, I was still able to find and kill mobs consistently. Now this is something that it's not going to happen once Phase 5 is released or once Phase 5 it's actually announced, because people will come here and will try to get their hands on that Cenarion Circle rep, and the price of the text of the robes that are used to summon the bosses will just go up and up. Initially when I came here I tried to farm sandworm meat, and I got 7 of them I think during this grind. However, then when I realized how good the Cenarion Circle rep grind is, we got like 20 pages and I was like, I'm only 20 minutes, 30 minutes into this. I decided to finish it with fighting the Twilight mobs. Now each time you kill a mob you get like 1 or 2 Cenarion Circle rep. I would recommend holding on to the text, not turning them in right now. And if you choose to sell them because you need the gold, the price of them on my server right now, they're 1.6 gold. The robe goes for 2 gold, the shoulder goes for 2 gold, and the helm goes for 1 gold 50. However, these will go up in price soon, so keep that in mind. If you choose to plan to farm your Cenarion Circle rep when AQ is released, you're gonna have a hard time because this spot is going to be packed as hell, and we do not know exactly if we're going to have layering or not for the release of Ahn'Qiraj. During the hour that I spent here, I made 100 gold. Even though people were here, place was contested, I had to swap between spots. Whenever the mobs were not spawned, I choose to kill a couple of worms for the meat. And I was quite amazed. If I can make 100 gold now, how much will I make when if I sell them during AQ release? So another way to do this is to farm the mobs and hold on to the text. The text stacks in stack of 250. You can only sell like the robes, or you can use the robes to summon the bosses yourselves, like the set, the 3 set robe, shoulders and head. You can use to summon the bosses. Maybe get a couple of items which you might want or not. There are a couple of good items. There's some shoulders for all the classes with hit, strength and agility, leather and plate and mail, and also there's cloth with spell power and hit. So if you have a couple of members in the group and you choose to farm together, well, you can do that. However, for summoning the high level bosses you need like large brilliant shards, which probably will go up in price during AQ40. You will need like 20 large brilliant shards, a couple of other mats like dark runes and so on. But like I'm saying, it would be way cheaper to do them now opposed to wait for the AQ40 release. And like we said in the first part of the video, it would be nice when AQ20 will be released that you will actually manage to get your hand on those initial first epic set from AQ20. Because if you go into Ahn'Qiraj, you won't get gear as you get there. So whenever the set bonus, the set pieces will drop from AQ40, you won't be able to turn them in because you would require reputation. And when you start reputation with Brood of Nostromo, which is the AQ40 reputation, you will start at hated and you will need to grind 36,000 reputation to be able to get to neutral and then friendly and so on. So I think this is it, guys. The spot is working great. I know I made a video on this before, like 1 hour with Frost. You can check that one if you want. I give more details there. I did it with a warrior. I just reached 60. My gear is not that great. I did have an Onyxia buff, however, but I think this spot is viable for every class. It's gonna help you when AQ20 comes, and just get into it. Do it now. Don't do it when everyone else is doing it. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you have a lovely weekend. Until next time, stay frosty.